Hey there, everyone. How are you doing today? So I wanted to record this quick video because I don't know if it's just you or maybe it's my kind of YouTube, videos. It seems like a lot of multifamily investors are coming on, and they're trying to make us feel small. They're saying things like you're not thinking big enough. They're saying bigger is better. I don't know. I think they're struggling to raise money, but that's just my opinion. So I wanted to tackle the topic and actually provide 10 reasons why I think single family homes are going to be the best investment for the next decade. And to be clear, I'm talking about single family rental homes, right? I do not have an opinion about owner occupants. I think there are so many personal decisions that go into that. I don't play there. I have history with single families. History with small multis, and I put my money where my mouth is always, and I am looking for single families because I think they are going to be the biggest investment. So I put together a quick PowerPoint. I've taken all the stuff that these multifamily folks throw at you and I put them up there. We're going to talk about them. We're going to admit some of them could be true. We're going to kind of twist some around, and then I'm going to tell you why I think single family rental homes are the best investment for the next decade. So let's get started. And again, if you're watching this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I do all of this for free. So if you can, that would be wonderful. So the title of this is, Should I Buy a Single Family as a Rental House? There's a lot of talk out there about, hey, don't buy homes. They're too small, vacancies, all of that. But let's get into that. First and foremost, I have a documented history of being a one rental at a time person. Started with single family, bought a lot of them over the years. It has led to financial freedom. If you want to read about that journey, it starts with reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And then there's 15 years of keeping my day job, working, and slowly building a portfolio of rentals that ends in financial freedom. So if you want to read it, you can get it on Amazon and Audible if you choose to listen to your books. Do me a favor, go ahead and leave a 5-star review if you've gotten it. I would greatly appreciate it, even if it's just simple, great book. As a self-published author, I'd love to see an increase in 5-star reviews. So thank you for that in advance. I really appreciate it. So again, this video was prompted by some videos I saw this morning. A lot of YouTube experts and multifamily investors out there either trying to scare you or scare me or make you or I feel small because they're big time and we're not. And I don't know about you, but I don't react very well to bullies. So I thought I would put together a fact-based discussion and let you make your choice. I clearly am coming into this going, you know what? One rental at a time is a great answer. I think most of you get to 4 rental homes. It will fundamentally change your future. But some of you are like, nope, I want to be part of a syndication. I want to be a limited partner on some big deals. Awesome. But let's at least have a fact-based discussion. So one of the things that I hear is, if you have a home and you have one vacancy, you're at 100%. Well, yeah, that's kind of simple math. The other one is you lack leverage or scale. Well, I guess what you're trying to say is if you have 10 things under one roof, you have one roof and you have one parking and, all of that. Well, kind of. I also have a lot less expenses, right? My roof replacements are much less than yours. And again, I say this owning those. This is one I hear all the time. And I am going to be so glad for the next 3 or 4 years that it's proven to be just flat out wrong. Bigger is not always better. You can go back on this channel probably a year now, and I was showing you the math that at least in my market, bigger wasn't better. It returned less money. Now, sure, you could control more assets. If you think the number one thing is units, go ahead and lose money. I don't care. I do not. I think the number one thing is what's my cash on cash or yield, right? That's what I want to know. For me, the number one answer is not number of units. You can go broke thinking about the number of units. And this is the one that just kind of punches me in the nose all the time. And I will admit to some days thinking this is true. They always say, you're thinking too small. You're thinking too small. And, most of the time I could ignore that comment, but there are plenty of days where it's like a needle, right? It's kind of poking you. And that kind of bugs me. I admit to that. Well, here's the deal. I think they're just flat out wrong. I think most people, most investors, probably greater than 90% of us, the single family rental will be the best investment for the next 10 years. If you are a multimillionaire already living the yacht life, maybe you're a professional athlete and you have just hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in every month and you want to pay some other advisor to do something for you, sure, fine. Go sign your shoe deals and do your commercials and let somebody else do this. But if you're just a W-2 employee that's busting your butt during the day and you're raising a family, single family is the way to go. And I'm going to give you 10 reasons right now. All right. So here's the one that I'm going to kick off with. And this is the one they try to kick sand in my face for. They talk about vacancies. They talk about bad debt. They talk about turnover. But here's the deal. The left column here is my multifamilies, and I have history to, almost 15 years or 20 years of history now. My multifamily average tenancy is 2 years, 25 months to be exact. My houses are over 5 years, like 64 or 65 months. Turnover kills. If you have to turn an apartment every other year, you're going to go broke. If you're turning your house every 5.5 years, not so bad. Bad debt, bad collections. If you have a multifamily investment, you are likely having bad debt collection every month. You are chasing that. Bad debt in houses does happen. It doesn't happen nearly as much. People fight tooth and nail. They invite family and friends to come live with them and share the burden. I've gone years and years without having any bad debt collection in single family. And then vacancy. This is the one that is just reality, folks. My vacancy on houses is days and sometimes hours. Vacancy in apartments, especially today, months. Think about that. So multifamily apartments, turnover is higher, rent collection is harder, and vacancy is longer. Tell that next time a multifamily investor tells you you're too small. Here's another one. I don't know why we don't stand up as single family investors and more confident. We can get 30-year fixed rate debt under 5% fully amortized. And some of you, at least as of the day of this recording, can get fixed rate 30-year debt fully amortized under 4%. I put in 5% because this video is going to exist for a long time. But as of this recording, May 15th of 2020, many of you can get something with a less than a 4% for 30 years fixed. Commercial multifamily investments, they have terms 3, 5, 7, 10. Do you want to have to refi in 3, 5, 7, 10 when inflation is higher, when risk premiums are higher, when cap rates are higher, and the value of your refi is lower, having to bring values to it? No, you don't want to do that. The multifamily market has a lot of provisions in their loans where they can call the loan if the asset value falls. And as cap rates rise, assets fall. You're not going to get a 30-year loan called because the value of the house went down. It's just not going to happen. As long as you're making the payment and you're conservatively financed, you are good to go. I love fixed rate 30-year debt with a 4 or a 3 on it. It's just beautiful. Here's another reality, and these multifamily investors are about to learn this the freaking hard way. If you need to sell, you have to get out. You can't raise more capital. You can't get your refi done or whatever. If you have a multifamily property, you can only sell to other multifamily investors. Your pool of buyers is small. Your pool of buyers in a bad market like we are in today is really small. Where if you own a nice single family home, you can sell it to another landlord, or you could sell it to an owner occupant. You have so many more exits with a single family home. Your downside is protected with single family homes. The single family home market is large. It is much, much, much larger than multifamily. And why that is good is it means there's value in you learning your market. If you learn your market better than other people, you can find good and great deals. You can find or create good or great deals. Most of the single family market is bad or average. But if you learn your market, you stay focused on your location, you can create value. You can create good or great deals. If you are a multifamily investor, you are likely focused on a type, garden, single story, whatever it is. But you have to go national. And suddenly when you go national, not only do you have to know the asset, you have to know the location. Because a multifamily investment in Ohio is different than Florida, that's different than Texas, that's different than California. You add the layers of risk, you add the layers of work. You just have to know more before pulling a trigger. If you learn a market like I have and stay loyal, you could dance through raindrops. You can get out when stuff's hot and get in when stuff's low. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. The average W-2 employee, just like the wife and I, we could save to buy a single family home. And as we continued, the next year we saved and bought another one. We don't have to and never have partnered with other folks to buy something bigger. We don't want that risk. I don't want to joint venture or partner with other people's money. I don't like that. Because not only do I have the asset and management risk, I now have partner risk. That doesn't excite me, right? In bad times, people lose jobs. They get a little squirrely with money. They have divorces and health scares. And I don't want that extra headaches, man. I want to be simple, 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 simple. So I want to own my own stuff. I don't want to be one of 20 investors in some big multifamily where one of the 20 folks could have an event in their life where they need to sell out and now we're in trouble. It's just, I don't want that to happen, especially in a bad environment. Here's the deal. I think this health scare we're in and going through now is going to be the crisis that everybody remembers. The fact is, we always remember the latest crisis. And right now, the most valuable thing for folks, for renters, is room to roam. It is very hard to shelter in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment that's 800 square feet. But if you give me an 800 square foot house with a front yard and backyard, I'm golden. Put my kids in the back and I'm going to chill on the porch, right? People are going to remember. People are going to double up because a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house will rent for more than an apartment. But you know what? Move in together. Have a couple people live there. People are going to value space. That is one of the things that are going to change in this health crisis. And it's happening already. People are leaving Class A apartments because they want space of a single family home. And these multifamily investors can't do squat about it. They are coming. They are going to single family. The demand for my single family rentals has never, ever been this high. Here's another deal that these multifamily investors don't want to tell you. Owning a multifamily is expensive. Anything over 16 units in California, you have to have an on-site manager, which means you lose a unit of rent and you have to pay extra expenses. Also, if you own multifamily, you have to pay water and garbage, probably. You have to pay gardeners, probably. There are just extra expenses you have to pay, which makes it less profitable. If I own a single family home, water and garbage is on the tenant. Gardener is on the tenant, right? Managing the lawn, whatever they want to do. Multifamily, nope. I don't have to pay a manager to live in, the second bedroom. Nope. So single family is much lower expenses. I believe speed is important. We are in a adjustment. The market is being adjusted right now. Risk profiles are changing right now. So you can save and learn your market much, much faster in single family than in multifamily. So if you can get in and find a good or great deal today, you can do that much, much, much faster in a single family market. And again, the learning curve is so small because now only you're doing is learning a single market. You don't have to learn a market and an asset type and multiple economies. It is just much, much simpler. In the end, inflation is coming. You are going to have inflation. We are going to have increased demand for single family. And if you have low fixed rate debt with low expenses, single family rentals are going to be the best investment because you're going to have inflated rent going on. You're going to have inflation in value going on. You're going to have fixed rate debt. You're going to have the expenses of water, garbage, and whatnot paid by the tenant. It's going to kind of be the best of both worlds. And then, of course, you have fixed rate debt with a 3 or a 4 on it for 30 years. It's going to be awesome. So in the end, this entire video is here to tell you that single family rentals are the best investment for the next decade, but it does key on you learning your market. I do not propose anybody write up an offer in their market until they answer what is a bad, average, good, or great deal. And if you know that already, awesome, go for it. If you need help, I have finally created a course called How to Start One Rental at a Time. There's a link in the description. It's only $199. It does give you access to my private Facebook group where you can give your homework. And we are doing live streams on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Pacific. I'd love to see you there. If you want to be mentored by someone who's still doing this, I just locked up a property on Monday, which I'm really, really excited about. So we can talk about that on Saturday. So in the end, don't let these multifamily investors make you feel small. I believe the single family rental is going to be the best investment for the next 10 years. If you can just get 4 single family rentals, your financial future is changed. So I wish you the best of luck. Please learn your market. Know what a bad, average, good, and great deal are. All right, everybody, take care.